This is a response message to you, the alt-right. You say you can't divide us. If you don't understand that we've already been divided, then you don't speak for working folks. Look at this mess we're in. Look at our crumbling future. We've been getting conned for generations. We don't want to kill you. We want to kill the conditions that make our lives miserable and threaten our survival. This is where we cut through your bullshit. We are the working folks that you tried to speak for in your video. Despite how you spin the election results, every single working person in this country lost. From the rural working families in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan that you mentioned, to you and your hard-working parents. No working or poor folk ever win in these elections. And that's why the rest of this is a message to all of the working folks across the United States. This is about more than privilege. It's about power. It's about the people in the White House who have never worked a day in their life, but lie to us that they can represent our interests. It's about the bosses and Wall Street investors who want to destroy the lives of people in our communities. It's about how those same people got bailed out and just got a promotion into government positions. It's about the people in the state houses across the country writing legislation affecting neighborhoods they've never lived in and shoes that they have never walked in. Every time we turn on each other, we help them maintain their power and control. All of our families and communities struggle to survive. And the rich billionaires like Trump, the attention-starved trolls like Milo Yiannopoulos, the open Nazis like Richard Spencer, none of those people care about our families and communities. They just want to make a buck off of us. Use us and our struggles to survive as ways to increase their profits and power. Politicians, rich folks, and the people who are protecting them, they are the real enemy here, not other working folks. That's why Trump, Milo, Clinton, Soros, all of the others, that's why they will never speak for us. They don't actually care about us. They only care about how they can use us.
These folks want us to turn our anger and attention against migrants, Muslims, refugees, an endless list of other folks we should be scared of or hate. All scapegoats that these rich people want us to focus on instead of focusing on who actually pulls the strings and holds the power. All while they pass policy after policy, devastating our communities, forcing our jobs overseas, destroying what few protections we have in our jobs, gutting the infrastructure our communities need to survive, destroying our families and our ability to make ends meet. We too see how the rich have dehumanized us all. We too have been attacked by upper-class liberal elites. We know what it's like to be called trash, to be considered disposable by folks who will never know what it's like to struggle to survive. We live this reality every single day as we walk our kids to school, as we clock in at work, as we try desperately to hold it together while working 2 or 3 jobs, if we can even find jobs. We understand why people now feel like they have to fight as their lives depend on it, because they do. Whether in the streets or in workplaces, schools, and community all over the country, people have their backs against the wall. Of course they're going to come out swinging. But we truly believe in the interest of working and poor folks, then we must work to attack our actual enemies, those with power at the top. But this also means having to fight those who protect them and their control. Our entire lives are lived in violence. The violence of evictions, the violence of foreclosures, the violence of hunger, the violence of unemployment, the violence of everyday life, where every day is a struggle to ensure that we and our families can even survive to the next day. That line has already been crossed, and we're still here fighting day to day.
Damn right. We reject the constant talk of conservatives and liberals, of Democrats and Republicans. None of the political parties have our interests at heart. They don't and never care about us or our families, our coworkers or neighbors. They only serve themselves. We have to stop putting faith and power into politicians. They will never help us. A billionaire in the White House is just as much in common with any of us as any other billionaire. Trump, just like Clinton, can't save us. There's no point in fooling ourselves. Far from draining the swamp, as many of us hoped that he would, his first weeks in office have been spent propping up his rich buddies and their cronies. No matter your political identity, we all see what's playing out before our eyes. And it's clear as day that every move these politicians are plotting simply will not benefit the little guy. And there's no retroactive shame in reckoning with that fact. As long as we realize it, learn from it, and unify around it, working folks don't have the luxury of time and energy to let this all play out. We all know what the score is right now. The question we must ask all of ourselves is, do we retreat back to our ideological corners, or do we come together and square up against our mutual enemy? We are now watching as this very real struggle pits many of us against each other. We're watching as people like Milo and Spencer and Trump and Bannon work hard to keep us divided from each other, to stop us from uniting against the rich and political elite from all sides, from all parties. So many other working and poor folks are playing right into that. Allowing themselves to believe in these lies, that's what keeps us divided and fighting each other instead of uniting to fight them. We will not lose hope, however, that there is still a future worth fighting for, a future worth living in, where our families and communities no longer suffer like they currently do. But the only way we will get there is for us to stop turning on other working people, to stop the daily attacks on people because they may have been born in a different city or country, or because the way they worship God, the color of their skin, or because of whatever personal choice that they make that do not actually affect us. We have to instead unite and fight our actual enemies. Meet your neighbors, help out with each other's kids, check in on each other's safety, stand up for each other, and yes, defend each other. Check out redneckrevolt.org and connect with us. Nobody's going to save us, not Trump or Clinton or Bernie or anyone. All we have is each other.